Hello, and welcome to Spiritual Happy Hour. We love Spiritual Happy Hour, don't we?
We do.
It's so much fun. And we also love the master, Randy Luna, who played at the beginning, and he's going to play again in the middle before Adironda's message.
So stick around.
And if you don't know who Adironda and the Council of Light are,
stick around.
you'll find out. So it is so wonderful to be here. This is loosely inspired by A Course in Miracles, but we take a lot of poetic license with that, right?
And it's really just to remind you that you are love.
Absolutely. I think there's a song in that. You are love.
I think I'm going to talk about that song.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, Marilyn, are you familiar with the term awakened doing? What does that mean to you?
Like doing something before you have your first cup of coffee?
Maybe.
Or being spiritually awakened and doing something?
That might be a little bit closer to it. You know, the other morning I was waking up in that twilight zone. You know, that area between sleep and awake that you're actually aware of the fact that you're dreaming. And Carl has taught me that if you're having a dream that you don't like and it just doesn't feel good, just say, I don't like this dream. Go away.
You can do that?
And it does.
Wow.
So I did. And that's a form of awakened doing. It's like consciously choosing love when you're in a state of fear. I chose to create a good dream while in the middle of a bad dream. I don't even remember what the dream was about, but choosing to not have it put my mental state in a more peaceful frame of mind as I was waking up that morning. I found myself actually smiling and sort of chuckling that I could do that, tell my dream to go away, and quite literally just wake up. After I opened my eyes and realized that now I was in this dream, I slowly began to do my daily morning ritual that I've created a habit of doing before I get out of bed every morning. I was thinking about the 3 things that I was most grateful for in that moment, and I was consciously choosing to be happy and feeling that in my body. Then suddenly I realized that I was humming that childhood nursery rhyme, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And in that moment, I thought, whoa, that song is really profound. It's about awakened doing and deeply spiritual and very Course in Miracle-ish and also very Adironda. Row, row, row your boat. Your boat is your body. Your body is made up of roughly, on average, about 60% water. So it's only fitting that your body would be compared to a boat. And you're in charge. You're the captain of your boat. On the surface, you're doing daily activities. You're rowing your boat. In other words, you're doing life. But actually do it. It's not float, float, float your boat. It's to take control of the oars, which I think is a metaphor for your mind, to choose your thoughts, to row gently down the stream. Even though your body may be rowing and you're moving down the stream, you're aware of your mind. You're aware of presence and what is happening right there in the now. Move yourself forward. Don't just let go of the oars and allow your body to be tossed around. Be a participant in your life. Get into the flow gently, gently. Don't rush it. Don't push it. Don't let go of it, but instead use it. Go with it. Flow with it. Merrily, 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 merrily. You're choosing enjoyment. You're making the most of this activity, whatever it is. You're choosing to see the joy in everything. And life is but a dream. You're in charge. You create your dream. In other words, wake up. If you don't like the dream, ask for another dream. Choose a happier dream. Whether you're asleep in your bed having a dream or walking around awake, you're still dreaming. Now, this song, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, is one of the most famous nursery rhymes, but its origins are a complete mystery. The first time it appeared in writing that we know of was in 1852 by a man named, now I'm going to try and get his name right, Eliphalet Orem Light. And there have been many adaptations of the song over the years, inserting things like crocodiles, lions, giraffes, and polar bears into the stanzas. And other versions range from sinister, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, throw your teacher overboard and listen to her scream, or to lighthearted, like the original, row, row, row your boat gently down the creek. If your boat fills with water, then you've got a leak. You may have your own version of it. As a kid, I remember singing this nursery rhyme in rounds. We'd sing it on road trips, in Girl Scouts, at camp, all kinds of places. Everybody knew row, row, row your boat. To me, that's even more profound because that's exactly what we're all doing. We're singing row, row, row your boat in rounds together. And when we all work together, we harmonize. I often hear people say, I want to be profound. I want to be enlightened. And if it's as if it's something you just check off your list. People say it as if it's a badge of honor that you get like after you do something worthy, like run a marathon or get your college degree, like it's out there achievable. There's a famous Zen Buddhist koan. You've probably heard of it. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. It often gets quoted as simply chop wood, carry water, where its meaning is assumed. But what does it mean? Well, the ancient Zen story goes like this. A young boy became a monk. He dreamed of enlightenment and of learning profound things. And when he got to the monastery, he was told that each morning he had to chop wood for the monks' fires and then carry water up to the monastery for ablutions and the kitchen. He attended prayers and meditation, but the teaching he was given wasn't what he had expected at all. Barely any teachings. One day he was told to take some tea to the abbot in his chambers, and so he did, and the abbot saw that the young monk looked sad, and he asked him why. And the young monk said, "Every day, all I do is chop wood and carry water. I want to learn. I want to understand things. I want to be great one day like you." The abbot pointed to the scrolls on shelves lining his walls, and he said, "When I started, I was like you. Every day I would chop wood and carry water. And like you, I understood that someone had to do these things. But like you, I wanted to move forward. And eventually I did. I read all of the scrolls, I met with kings, and I gave counsel. I became the abbot. And now I understand that the key to everything is that everything is chopping wood and carrying water. And if one does everything mindfully, then it's all the same. To me, enlightenment is when it appears nothing has changed on the outside or the doing, and everything has changed on the inside. The being of merrily, 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 life is but a dream. The being realizing there's great joy in something so simple as chopping wood, carrying water. Life is but a dream. And together we sing in rounds. We begin to see the beauty of these rounds, even if they're not in tune. Eventually, all the rounds harmonize. To me, this is consciousness. I think the row, row, row your boat nursery rhyme and the Zen lesson both are suggesting that if we master our mind, we begin to appreciate our amazing miracles in everyday life and problems, because things do come up. Solutions are required. However, life goes on during and after enlightenment. Do you think the Dalai Lama never has to face a problem? Sure he does. In the Book of Joy, which is a fabulous interview between two of the most persecuted men ever, the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu, Both men are asked how they're able to offer such forgiveness to the world when both they and their countries have been so tortured and persecuted. And the Dalai Lama is quick to point out that had he not been persecuted on the world stage, Buddhism would probably never have become so popular in the Western world. His situation being in the news brought much awareness to his personal practice of peace and spread it amongst people everywhere. That's awakened doing. That's enlightenment, to be able to see the love in a bad dream. I recently had an issue, a really big issue that requires a serious solution soon. It's an issue I share with someone else. I kept looking at this issue like, what can change? Something must change. We can't just keep doing the same thing and expect different results. I was rowing the boat gently, not jumping to conclusions, but just pondering, looking at the facts, asking for answers, seeking solutions. And with every solution I offered this other person, there was great resistance. Their response was to basically just quit or to do nothing, or for me not to be so upset. And I kept turning the problem over and over, looking for different approaches, suggesting different solutions. But this person was taking everything personally. They were making the problems about them and not offering any solutions. It was all sacrifice on their part. I was really trying to solve the situation, yet they were solving for them personally. There was no gratitude for the fact that I had been carrying this problem alone for several years, and now I was asking for help. I didn't want to carry it alone any longer. I was not going gently down the stream. And this person was akin to the young monk in the abbey. They wanted to be enlightened, they wanted to do great things, but they weren't willing to look at the wall of scrolls. Or to put it another way, to look at all of the advice, the experience, the education that we were quite literally staring at in the face of the problem. And it made me really sad because I see this as a giant opportunity to overcome an obstacle, to be able to do even greater things, to flow gently down the stream. But they didn't want to grab the oars or to chop wood or carry water. They just wanted to pout. I realized that if this person could just see that all we were doing is continuing to chop wood and carry water, and to not take it personally and to not judge it, I'm confident there's a solution. And the best solution would be if we worked together on the issue, if we could harmonize, and if we can view everything as chopping wood and carrying water, even when it's not fun, even when it seems impossible or difficult, whatever. To me, that's enlightenment, and that's where the solutions lie, and that's obviously what the Dalai Lama does. What good does it do for any of us as spiritual beings if we sit in meditation and we do all of our spiritual work, but we lose it the minute we become active? We lose it the minute the dream turns bad. Well, we won't go merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is but a dream, that's for sure. Wanting to be enlightened misses the point. Enlightenment is a destination. It's a state of mind. Our doing must be rooted in our being, not the other way around. Eckhart Tolle says in his book, A New Earth, The Purpose of the Universe, the most important thing to realize is this: your life has an inner purpose and an outer purpose. Inner purpose concerns being and is primary. Outer purpose concerns doing and is secondary. He also says, awakened doing is the alignment of your outer purpose, or rowing your boat, or chopping wood and carrying water. In other words, what you do, with your inner purpose, awakening and staying awake. Or, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. It's through awakened doing you become one with the outgoing purpose of the universe. And consciousness flows through you into this world. It flows into your thoughts and inspires them. It flows into what you do and guides and empowers it. If you've got an issue or a problem, that's the doing just simply looking for a solution. I love that term, awakened doing, because that really is the second part of the Zen koan. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, or row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Although it's a nursery rhyme, it's pretty darn profound and very spiritual and Course of Miracle-ish. The Course says in lesson number 59, which is a reiteration of 41 through 45, basically that God is with you wherever you go, down the stream. And any story you're telling yourself, poof, goes away the minute you choose not to believe it. In other words, the minute your hands are on the oars, you just take a deep breath if your ego tells you otherwise. God's still with you, gently, gently, gently down the stream. And like an electric light bulb, you don't have to know how it works. Just flip the switch and let it work. Merrily, 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 merrily. Flip the switch on and watch the light brighten your world. And when you do this, before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water, and after enlightenment, chop wood and carry water, you personally affect every generation after you. It's like you're singing row, row, row your boat generationally, because you're now modeling to the world how to look for opportunities and problems and how to seek out the bigger picture and how to focus on love. You've literally changed your inner landscape. You've become rooted in your being, and that's the awakened doing. As Adironda always says, and it's so simple, so spiritual, and so profound, be the love you are. In one of my favorite songs by John Mayer, he sings, "Love is a verb, it ain't a thing. It's not something you own, it's not something you scream. Love is awakened doing. Love is enlightenment. And life is but a dream." Let's take a few minutes to listen to the awakened doing of the Master Randy Luna, and then Adironda will have a special message for us afterwards.
So it is good day to you, Good day to you, good day to you, good day to you, good day to you. Again, good day to everyone out there in our virtual reality that we are in. As you understand, you are in the boat. You are the boat. You are the water. You are the boat. You are the oars. You are the rowing. You are it all. And as you know, that energy of frequency, it is your choice to go merrily down the stream and go with the flow. Or sometimes what we have seen is individuals push against the stream, push against the flow, and try to row upstream, which, if you've ever been on Tanikomo Lake trying to row against the wind, it is not a fun adventure. Funny maybe, but not fun, As that energy comes through, the frequency of anchoring in your own flow is very important. What we see so often is that individuals don't know that they get the opportunity to make the choice to flow, and they sort of flow into the ego path, or flow into the pointing fingers path, or flow into the blaming path, when that is not the path at all. The water of a stream does not blame the tree because the tree flows in and gets stuck on the bank and allows the water to flow in a little different path. The water does not blame the tree for that. So understand that in that energy, in that frequency, it is simply about finding a new path. As you know, since water has been a metaphor for rowing your boat, water will find the path of least resistance. Always. When you are in a canoe or a kayak, the energy comes through of the water, and it actually forms an arrow that you point your boat towards that arrow. And that's how you know you are flowing in that easy, graceful state. So as you feel that state, as you understand that state, as you clarify that energy, what are you doing, or what are you being? You know, the Joy talked about awakened doing, and we say to be that awakenment, that awakening all of the time, that love frequency, as taught in A Course in Miracles, that love energy is truly 100% who you are. So then, of course, the question is, how does the 100% be that? And what is the 95% be someone else or something else, or push against it, or stop the oar, or stick the oar in the water and make the water go around the oar? You see, that is that old energy of, well, we've got to make it hard. Well, we've got to make it something that it is not. We've got to work hard for our money. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. It is that doing. That energy is. What happens when you are just awakened to your beingness, and the doing follows suit with that beingness? We love the analogy of chop wood, carry water, doing that before enlightenment and after enlightenment. Because the theory is that you no longer have to sit in stillness, straighten your back, breathe into meditation. It is actually about allowing that energy of meditation to be with you always, when you are doing, when you are being, when you are sleeping, when you are washing dishes, when you are cleaning the toilet, when you are scrubbing your floor, when you are fixing the computer, when you are working on the car, when you are driving down the street and someone cuts in front of you or drives very slow when you are late. The key is of enlightenment that you are simply going through the motions in that state of enlightenment. That is the highest vibrational state for all of humankind. In that energy, in that frequency, dearest beings of light, we know you can do that. We know you can be that. What does it take? Does it take to read another book? Does it take to watch another spiritual movie? Does it take to talk to another spiritual person? Does it take another class? Maybe. Maybe not. It may just take the opportunity to stop taking. Start being. Start anchoring your posterior in your kayak or your rowboat and look at your oar as the tool of your mechanism to help you steer into the direction that your body, your energy, your sense, your feelings, your thoughts wish to go. Do you know which direction they wish to go? Take a deep breath. They wish to go where you feel that your highest vibrational energy is. That point in the flow of that water, going through the rocks, through the rapids as it would be. Where is that guidance leading you? And then you trust. Trust that that intention, that flow is not coming from your ego, but that flow is coming from your own guidance. That flow is not coming from someone else that you're blaming because there's a big log in front of you. That flow is about finding that path and moving into it with joy, with love, with the existence and purity of your true nature. Brushing off all that debris that you may have picked up along the way, and simply flow to row in your boat, in your body, in the merriment of you. You see, that is the key. To know that every single obstacle that was placed in your path is one that you get the opportunity to evolve through, to evolve beyond, to understand that in that energy, in that frequency of evolution, it is like a pinball machine. There's little flipper things that are coming out. Do you remember a pinball machine? We have seen one. The little flippers are coming out to block your path. And you get to flow that ball wherever is the path of least resistance, just like the water. So trust that nature to work with you, not against you. Trust that frequency to acknowledge your path. And then you will indeed float merrily down that stream with love, as you are indeed being and doing the love that you are. We see you. We know you. We feel you. And we bid you namaste. Namaste.